welcome to another episode of the PowersPoint Podcast, Season 5, Episode 47. I'm your host, Scott Powers, and if you're new to the show and wondering what we're all about, well, we talk about anything and everything with the exception of two things: no politics, no religion. And if you came up to me and you asked why, because we're here to have fun, damn it. Life's serious enough on its own. This podcast is your break, a quick, easy listen where you can relax, laugh, and then just enjoy the next 30 minutes, if that. No heavy topics, no debates, no sides to pick. It's Christmas time. The lights are on, the mood is good, and this show is all about keeping things light, welcoming, and fun. So settle in, enjoy the ride, and let's get right into it. Now, over the last week or so, we've talked about arrival times to family parties. We've talked about seating arrangements. We talked traditions, then somehow talked about traditions again. And we even talked about a farting dog that turned out not to be real. Now, as a kid, let's talk some serious business. As a kid in the 80s, Christmas morning wasn't about peace, joy, or goodwill towards men. It was about what toys you scored or whether or not your parents accidentally ruined your entire childhood before breakfast. Boy toys weren't subtle back then. There were no learning objectives, no emotional growth, no builds creativity stickers. These toys were loud, full of small choking hazards, and somehow ran entirely on imaginations and batteries that were never included. You didn't open presents. You stormed the living room like Cobra Commander had taken a tree hostage. I even remember ripping open wrapping paper and seeing that unmistakable cardboard backing, the clear plastic bubble, and realizing immediately, oh man, this is serious. We had He-Man, who had a blonde haircut that would absolutely get him bullied today, wearing what can only be described as a leather Speedo and holding a sword like he was collecting rent with it. And if you owned He-Man, you were now morally obligated to own Skeletor, or at least fight him in theory. And Skeletor was terrifying. He had a blue face, a skull head, and a voice like a chain-smoking wizard who lived under a bridge. Then there were G.I. Joes. I'm not talking about the tiny ones, I'm talking about the real ones. Big, stiff-kneed, kung-fu grip Joes who couldn't sit down properly and always looked like they were yelling at you, even when standing still. Every kid had one Joe that didn't belong. He had Snow Job in July, Shipwreck, who looked drunk before noon, and Cobra Commander, whose helmet made absolutely no sense, but nobody questioned it because freedom was on the line. And then the Thundercats showed up and just blew the doors off everything. Now we had cat warriors who had muscles everywhere, swords that could see things, and that Snarf who always showed up somehow, even when he wasn't invited. Sorry, I was just thinking about it. And Mechanic Robots, which were basically Transformers' weird cousins that showed up to the party first and then slowly disappeared. Transformers were next level stress because the instructions were all lies. I mean, every box showed a robot proudly standing there like just just flip three panels and boom, I'm Optimus Prime. Meanwhile, you're 45 minutes in, sweating, one wheel dangling, and you're asking your dad for help, and your dad's staring at it like it's tax paperwork. And then you had the LJN wrestling figures. These were not action figures. Let's face it, these were bricks with faces. No elbows, no knees, just solid rubber torsos and the emotional weight of the WWF behind them. You'd try to do a suplex and the figure would just fall over like you dropped the roast beef. But you didn't care. Because when you had, "What you gonna do, brother?" Hulk Hogan, or Roddy Piper, or the "Ooh, yeah" Macho Man, or Andre the Giant, your bedroom was Madison Square Garden, your pillow was a steel chair, your dog was a referee who absolutely was not paying attention. No batteries, no Wi Fi, just imagination, the floor, and about 20 minutes of uninterrupted minutes before someone yelled, "Put your shoes on, we're leaving." That's why these toys matter. Which brings us perfectly into our first song I call Plastic Heroes. I'll be back after this.
Christmas lights on the carpet floor, cardboard boxes by the door, plastic swords and rubber men. Didn't know then, but that was when heroes came in blister packs, bent up cards and broken backs. Every villain, every fight played out before the end of night. No screens glowing in my face, just the floor in empty space. Every move I had to make, every win was mine to take. We were plastic heroes on a living room stage, saving the world at a young, wild age. No batteries, no rules to bend, just imagination and a weekend to spend. Yeah, we fought all night, yeah, we stood our ground on shag carpet battlefields. We were legends then, plastic heroes, back when pretend felt real. He had muscles made of clay, skull-faced man got in the way. Camouflage and kung fu grips, secret wars and basement trips. Robots changing shape and size, heroes falling, villains lie. Wrestling rings made out of beds, championships inside our heads. Every scar was tape and glue, every loss just something new. If it broke, we played some more. That's what heroes are for. We were plastic heroes on a living room stage, saving the world at a young, wild age. No batteries, no rules to bend, just imagination and a weekend to spend. Yeah, we fought all night, yeah, we stood our ground on shag carpet battlefields. We were legends then, plastic heroes, back when pretend felt real. Somewhere in a box of bin, they're still waiting there again, bent and worn but standing tall. Kings are nothing, heroes to us all. We were plastic heroes, fearless and loud. Didn't need much, just the floor and the sound of our own voices, our own belief that a kid could still save something in peace. Yeah, time moves on, but I still know those heroes never let me go. Plastic heroes, yeah, they're still real.
Welcome back. Again, that song was called Plastic Heroes. Okay, so before the song, we talked G.I. Joes, we talked He-Man, the Thundercats, the GoBots, the Transformers, and wrestlers. Now let's talk about adult toys. Dad got a brand new table saw. Shiny, loud, beautiful. You could practically hear it humming, thinking, I am the master of all boards. Later on, he would cut his finger right down the middle, with a table saw. He didn't lose his finger, but he's got one hell of a scar. He learned a lesson, and he still used it when his finger healed. He also got a new hammer, because apparently the old one wasn't hammering hard enough, and a pair of socks because Christmas miracles can be foot sized. Mom, she got a toy too. I never actually saw it. I just remember hearing her tell Dad how happy it made her and how much she could really use it on those cold nights when he's at work. And that stayed with me. I was curious for years. I didn't care. I was always happy as can be. That was the year that Dad was laid off from his job at the mill. I didn't understand what being laid off meant back then, but my parents never made me, my brother, or my sister feel poor. Ever. I wanted one thing, the newest, the coolest Nintendo. I had only seen it in the service merchandise store. It came with a gun and duck hunt, where the duck started slow and then flew faster and faster, and if you missed, the level was over, and the damn dog popped out of the bushes laughing at you. I could still hear it in my head. And the coolest part, it came with Rob the Robot, which stood for Robotic Operating Buddy. He moved spinning gyros, gyros, however people pronounce it, but not the food, and placed them on buttons to open gates. He was slow, painfully slow, but to a 10-year-old kid, this was the future. We went to the big family Christmas party I talked about last episode, and then we finally got home. I didn't expect much. I got tracksuits that didn't really fit from Aunt Louise, Harvey's dime store toys, and plastic green army men with bent rifles. Clothes I swore were my older brother's. Then my parents said, Hold on, wait up, there's one more. And they slid a fairly big box across the floor. And just like the movie Christmas Story, this is how it went down. I unwrapped it, and there it was, a Nintendo, the gun, and Rob. To this day, I still don't know how they pulled it off. I don't know how they managed it. I just know that at that moment, it was the greatest gift I had ever received. Which brings us to our next song. All I Want for Christmas is My Nintendo. I'll be back after this one.
I don't want a new tracksuit. I don't want a toy car. I don't need a green army man. Bent rifles won't get me far. I just want that system, the one I've seen in the store, with a gun and Rob the Robot, and a duck I can't ignore. I begged, I dreamed, I crossed my fingers tight, stayed up past bedtime every night. Mom and Dad didn't know how they do it, but somehow they came through it. All I want for Christmas is my Nintendo, the gun, the games, and Rob, don't you know? Duck hunt, laugh, spinning gyros too. All I want for Christmas is my Nintendo. Yeah, all I want for Christmas is my Nintendo. The tracksuits were too small, army men fell over in a pile. Mom had a mystery gift that made her grin all the while. But there it was under the tree, bigger than anything I'd seen. The Nintendo, glowing and ready, the future of a 10-year-old's dream. I held the box like it was gold, couldn't believe what I'd been told. No way, no how, they pulled it off. My jaw still drops when I think of that Christmas love. All I want for Christmas is my Nintendo, the gun, the games, and Rob, don't you know? Duck hunt, laugh, spin Nintendo. The gun, the games, and Rob, don't you know? Duck hunt, laugh, spinning gyros too. All I want for Christmas is my Nintendo. All I want for Christmas is my Nintendo. The greatest gift I've ever known. Thanks, Mom and Dad, you made it so. All I want for Christmas is my Nintendo. Oh,
Again, that was All I Want for Christmas is a Nintendo. I got that Nintendo, and I'll always be appreciative of it. Okay, guys, girls, pull up a chair. Have a seat by the fire for a minute. Christmas isn't over, not even close. There's still 7 days left, 1 full week. And this is the part of the season where things don't need to be too loud. They just need to be honest. I find myself thinking about 10-year-old me this time of year, sitting on the floor surrounded by toys, believing the world was big and exciting and somehow always going to work out. And I wonder what that kid would think if he could see me now. Would he be surprised, proud, confused? Maybe all of it. But I think he'd recognize the feeling, because even then, Christmas wasn't just about what was under the tree. It was about how the room felt, the safety of it, the sense that, for a little while, everything slowed down and you could just exist. And here's the truth. This time of year could be the hardest for a lot of people. The lights are bright, the expectations are high, and it can make the quiet parts even feel louder. And memories, they just show up uninvited. Empty chairs get noticed. Sometimes the calendar moving closer to Christmas feels heavier instead of happier. If that's you, I want you to hear this clearly. You're not alone. I've been here with you all December. Every story, every laugh, every memory we've kicked around together. We've been doing this side by side, and we're going to get through this week together too. You don't have to have everything figured out. You don't have to feel a certain way. You just have to keep showing up, one day at a time, one moment at a time. There's 7 days left. Plenty of time for warmth, plenty of time for connection, plenty of time for something small and good to sneak in when you least expect it. Let's roll to the next track, and I'll be back with the rap.
And 7 days till Christmas morning, lights still hanging in the hall. Some folks counting down the minutes, some just hoping they don't fall. There's a chair that's always empty. There's a name you almost say. There's a smile you practice wearing just to get you through the day. But you keep moving forward even when it's hard to breathe. You don't need all the answers, just a little bit of peace. It's 1 week to go, take it slow. You don't have to carry it all. If you're tired, that's okay. You're still standing, you're not small. 1 week to go, hold on tight. You don't have to walk alone if the night feels too long. Just know you're almost home. There's a song you hear in stores now that brings back another year. A different face, a different place. A laugh you still can hear. You wonder what they'd say right now if they could see you here. Probably tell you you're doing fine, even if it doesn't feel clear. You've made it through December, every moment up till now that counts for something more than you allow. It's 1 week to go, take it slow. You don't have to carry it all. If you're tired, that's okay. You're still standing, you didn't fall. 1 week to go, stay right here. Breathe in, let the noise be gone. If the weight feels a little too much, just know you're not wrong. You don't need a perfect ending or a picture postcard scene. Sometimes just making it through is the bravest thing you've been. It's 1 week to go, take it slow. Let the moment find its way. There's still warmth in these nights. There's still something left to say. 1 week to go, hang on tight. Every step means you belong. If you're listening right now, then you made it. You're still strong. 7 days till Christmas morning. Lights still hanging in the hall.
Thank you. Really. Thank you for spending this time with me and the quiet moments we shared tonight. Christmas is still coming. We still got one, maybe two podcasts left next week. So we're not done yet. And if you're looking for something funny, a little bit unhinged, and absolutely not like this, join us every Friday night for Powers Point After Dark. It's live. You can call in, you could text, and you're going to have more than one or two laughs. I guarantee. This week, we're bringing back Ask the Cat from Toledo, where you get to ask Keith, who's the Zen master of Toledo, anything you want. And you might be surprised by his answers. And if you think you know the answer yourself, Keith might put a different twist on it that you may have not even thought. So come hang out with friends you didn't even know you had at the big digital table. Just go to powerspointpodcast.podbean.com. It's free. They won't sell your email. And we go live again every Friday night at 11 p.m. Central, precisely 2300. You could set your watch to it. If you have an idea for this show, the podcast, go to powerspointpodcast@yahoo.com. Put podcast idea in the subject line, and I'll find it faster. All right, friends, that's all the time I have for today. You've been listening to the Powers Point Podcast. I'm Scott Powers, signing off.